Okay, it's been very active with demons and uh, the Pandora box holders, which it lives around me, and the scepters and the tuna forks since the DP of Earth over 7,965 years ago. And I've been dealing with the evil identities of Sarumon and the sloth. Um, also, high powers too that join Sarumon and said Sarumon's name, and some humans that did join Sarumon and Sarumon's cause. And the one who started Sarumon was actually Zion's brother Zeus. And so this is the Pandora box, the original one that I had on my dragon's gravesite in my junk planet, which I told you on DP of Earth to stay off and to stay in the arcs until the anthrax of Earth was clear. I believe the law states on a game of wits with the known, and to be the known, you have to understand the knowledge of the known, which brings in the beyond. And to understand the beyond, you have to understand the wisdom and reality of the beyond. So you got a little situation here. And this is respect and honor that I have for my father's creation, the humans, which is Zion. And then my mother is a very, very respected queen of the moon. And I follow the laws of the commandments, which is order of the yin and yang, conduct of yin and yang, life and death, and being reborn. And you're sort of way over the edge on your age, since I'm seeing the same people from Earth 10 that I saw on Earth 9 and that I saw on Earth 8. So these people are not dying. Neapolitan War was Earth 8. And they ate dragons. They ate 2 dragons on Earth 8, not realizing they're eating the hearts of the dragons, and it's poisoning them. And then I have to go through the history. In the history of ancient Egypt at AD time, which is Semper Fi. And that's where we are right now, where it all began for me when I was 4 quadrillion years old. And that was my first time being stolen from the solar system, and it raged a war. And if you look at the children watch Princess Bride, and it was a 5-finger that the warrior wanted to kill. I guess I was informed it's a very funny movie, but when you look at it, his revenge was for a 5-finger in AD time. And that brought in the war of Lords of the Rings, with my father crowned as king again of the humans. And he married a very powerful being. He's a creator, and she's a very powerful, elegant being, Queen Fernando. They're not elves. It's just the beginning of time people. They're called Asgarians. That's right. So, and then you have the Arroyans of the beginning of time, and then you have the Atlanteans of the beginning of time, and then you have what you call Furians, and then you have Fairies, and then you have dwarfs. That's correct. And the dwarfs were put in a Pandora box. A lot of people were put, and my father stood with his creation, the humans, and they stood strong, and they stood as one, and they fought Sarumon. That's correct. And before he was, that was before your time. Okay? So that's the story of the first humans. The second humans is my war. It's Lord of the Rings, #2, which is the daughter of Sion going up against Sarumon, and that's Star Wars. It's a little more advanced, but that's what it's about. And it's going up against Sarumon's Imperial fleet of Nazis and the Death Star that they created, which hide the sloth of Sarumon. So we found out that Zeus, my father's brother, was jealous, and so was a close friend of my mother, which is, if you look at King Arthur, that's right, that's my father, Sion. His brother was very jealous of him, and he just wanted the sword that holds order and balance of the yin and yang, and my mother was gone. And I believe out of this, as the story tells, this is my father and mother's wedding oath song. And I had this jewelry box. It was a Pandora box, and I whipped it as a jewelry box to represent something of my mother, Queen Fernaldo, of the moon solar system. And that's all I got left of them, until I started smashing scepters and tuna forks in my backyard and unleashed what was in there and unleashed what was in the scepter and the tuna fork, and at the same time not realizing what I was doing because I was so angry. I was very devastated that I'm not on Earth, I'm on an ark, which is 12 days this way, 12 days that way, 10 days that way, is what 666 told me. So we started hitting the enemy beyond hitting it. And I started making my calls to my allies, not knowing that Sarumon was around. And then Lisa started screaming Sarumon's name, his wife, Bloody Mary, several times outside. And she just trying to overpower that sword. She wants that sword of the Excalibur. Everybody wants the sword, but they don't realize that sword belongs to me and my parents. And I still have it. And it represents the innocence in those scepters, tuna forks, and timers. And the Pandora boxes are all open. So all my humans that have a black space memory is because of this. And now it's brown. So who was behind this all? Zion's brother Zeus. There you go. And his 2 children. They're demons. Who was the 2 powerful ones out of them all? For Zeus. Who was the most powerful children out of them all? Sean Ross Lynch and Teresa Dawn Weber and Sarah Weber and Kiki Weber. There you go. The void of the Pandora box has been accepted and is full. The most evil identity were those ones with Zeus.